He scares me, Dr. Bondurant. I'm afraid of him. He's not my father. He's just some crazy creep. How can you even bear to let him touch you? Stop it!
Actress-singer Jill Schoelen joins us today for an epic conversation. She's an absolute sweetheart, so very talented. Super excited, guys. Let's do it. Miss Jill, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Congrats on all your amazing work and success.
So nice to meet you.
Well, it's so awesome to meet you. Thank you so much. The Stepfather is, it was my introduction to you, and it's also one of my favorite films of all time for so many reasons. Very special. My first question is, when you look back, was that film a special time for you?
It was a special time. It was my 5th movie that I made, that I starred in. And because I was very fortunate where I kind of went into good roles in my career immediately rather than one-liners. I never really had that. I remember when I first got the script, I was like, okay, this is my part. I can do this. I just connected with her. The movie, when it came out on a platform release, and didn't get much, nothing, really any attention. A couple theaters here or there in 1 or 2 cities, 3 cities, and it died. They weren't going to do any more. And when the reviews started coming in, pretty much almost after they pulled the film, and they were through the roof. Joe Rubin, the director, called me, and we were on the phone one day, and he said, Jill, our grandmothers could not have written us better reviews. Because grandma's going to say, love, 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 love. And that's what gave it its first, I think, life, to then be able to move on to the video world and then really find its audience hugely.
Yeah, you got a lot of artistic talent.
Get out of here.
No, really, I mean it.
It's definitely one of my favorites. Great performances all around. I mean, the chemistry that y'all had, especially between you and Terry, it's like every time you acted and he reacted, I mean, it was perfect. And when you take the horror element out, for me personally, I grew up in a blended family. I've had a relationship, where there's blended, family, and I understand how tough it can be, and it's like every time there was even the smallest win, in the family, you felt it. And then, of course, whenever there was disappointment, you feel it even more. So I felt for you, and I felt for Terry. And then, of course, when you know that the relationship's, it's coming to an end. I mean, the storytelling in this film was on point. I love it.
At the time, that resonated even more with people, this idea of the perfect family. Like, he wanted that all-American dream, and you felt for him when he pushes the girl on the swing, the little girl of the house that he's selling to, their daughter. And
what grade are you in, Cindy?
3rd.
3rd grade. I remember when Jill was in 3rd grade.
Who's Jill?
That's my daughter.
You said her name was Stephanie.
Right, Stephanie.
And Jill, I have to ask, did he say your real name by accident and then they just kind of ran with it, or was Jill the actual name in the original script?
If I remember correctly, that was already in the script. I'll have to look at that. The way Terry does it at those moments, the way he feels it or plays it, it's as if that he had some really bad things. You sense it. Childhood was not good for him.
To me, that's what made it unique. We get a hint of his past, but we don't know exactly what happened, how bad it was. And I mean, it was, he was kind of like a real life Michael Myers to me.
Yeah. Oh, I have the chills when you said that.
And whether it was during production or rewatching the film now, do you have a favorite scene?
I love the scenes with the doctor. Some of those were cut down a little bit, which was a disappointment for me, because I'm sure they loved the performance throughout it, because what's there is good. But, they're trying to tighten the film. They're always trying to tighten a film, right, in editing. And I liked the scene with the mom where we're talking on the bed and then he comes in and interrupts.
Sweet dreams, Steph.
Night, Jerry.
I do have issues with the shower scene. I did not want to do it. Specifically, my contract down to microseconds says what can be seen and not seen. I didn't want to be that girl. I wanted to be smart girl. Now I have to tell you, they cut a lot of what I was going through. That's all gone from the movie of why she runs in and takes a shower. So there was she's covered with mud. There is a TV version of The Stepfather, and it is more footage, and this is the footage that was added.
Wow, so there's an extended version out there.
It turns into her playing detective, and it probably just seemed too far-fetched, so they cut it. And I understand that was like a thing. I know every horror fan out there totally disagrees with me.
It's definitely a formula, especially in horror movies, right? And if I may, I think my opinion, my approach, when I watch these films, there's always an expectation when you're watching a horror movie or an action movie. Somebody's gonna get, beat up or killed or slashed or whatever. But when you see a scene like that, I think for me, it's always been kind of a mental break or release, like something to kind of take away from the nonstop gore or campiness of the movie. And if you do everything for the right reason, it flows and it makes sense and it's perfect, right? For example, the opening of the movie when Terry is walking down the stairs and you get that reveal of the family that was killed. It's very bloody and that's very slasher, very formula, right? To me, that's your shower scene. It was done right, but you don't see that in every single shot, and the movie doesn't have to show you that every 5 minutes. The story is told, but we get that immediate mental balance of who this guy really is or what he's capable of. And so whenever there is tension throughout the film, it's like you don't want it to get to that point again, right? So and again, I hope I'm not talking way out there.
That's an interesting point of view.
Maybe it's just a guy thing. I love this movie and I've seen it so many times. It was my introduction to you, my introduction to Terry as well. And just epic times. Congratulations, congrats to everyone. And my second Jill movie was Phantom of the Opera. And Phantom of the Opera blew my mind visually, the lighting, the sets. This is a movie, Jill, that I can watch without sound. It's so beautiful to watch.
Oh, stunning, right? Stunning. I really like you, Chris. I love when you see so much stuff, you have so much great insight, because to me, that was so huge about the film. Everything was to the T. That was the only film I've ever been on where I had a personal dresser with me at all times, because they would lace me up because they were the real deal. Everything down to hair pieces, everything was authentic. And the film is so beautiful. And I've always thought, I tried to figure out why it failed. In my opinion, the timing of bringing it out, people don't know how to feel. People who love the beauty of film love watching the film, but then those people say, but it's just too gory for me. And the people who love the gore say, oh, it's just too fancy for me.
And that was a benefit to me because I didn't get to see these movies until I didn't see The Stepfather or Phantom of the Opera till like early 2000s. I wasn't allowed to watch these movies.
Oh,
so anyhow,
wow!
I felt like I could appreciate them a little bit more. For example, I'm a huge horror fan, huge Freddy fan, but I didn't even realize that was Robert Englund until later on.
I think Robert does a phenomenal. It's totally underrated for him. That's frankly, in my opinion, why he was so good at Freddy, because he was the real deal. It wasn't a joke to him. I'm sure he had fun with it, but he knows what he's doing. He was a character actor.
Absolutely. The guy's a legend. And because of that movie, I really feel that the Freddy franchise, they missed out a little bit, because I love all of the Freddy movies, but I felt that Robert could have easily carried his own sequel or prequel to kind of show that life before Freddy, because you get a hint of it in Freddy versus Jason, but again, to see Robert the actor, I would have loved to have seen kind of a life before Freddy, or how he becomes Freddy.
That's really interesting. That is fascinating.
And so what's life like today? What are you working on?
Thank you so much for asking. I've done these 2 movies that will be coming out. Just finished the second one called A Dying Art. The other one's a Christmas movie, Ralph's Perfect Christmas, and it's like almost looks Hallmark in the beginning, purposely, and then it just goes to a whole nother place. I'm making this Christmas record right now. Christmas is Forever. That's its title. At first, I just thought it would be fun to ask some of my friends to be on it. And I've got Diane Franklin, so popular from the 80s. My friend Judy Aronson, popular from the 80s in Weird Science. And then Barbara Crampton, who's, everyone now, she's the it person of horror. And then a new younger person, Chrissy Fox. Yeah, she's in Terrifier 3, and she's got all these movies now she's starring in that are coming out. And so that's been great.
Wow, what an ensemble. That's epic. I would love to see all of you in a movie together. Well, I know you've got an event coming up, right? You've got a new website coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I'm so happy. There's a little theater in San Diego called La Paloma, and they can still show real film. They still have, that technology at this theater. And they got in touch with me, and they'd like to show a double feature of The Stepfather and Popcorn. So it's going to be in that area for fans that are interested, anyone in that area, and I will be there. But people always say to me about Popcorn and The Stepfather, at the conventions over the years, they always would say, it's like, whoa, there's no merchandise. I wish Popcorn had merchandise. I wish they had merchandise. So I made some merchandise, both for The Stepfather and Popcorn. I have a t-shirt from each of them, and they're fantastic. And then I made great trucker hats. And then my Popcorn, I made a very special, limited, beautifully printed, I'll leave it as a surprise, but it is a limited item made by me. I did 300 of them. They're all numbered. So I'm launching this website, and then that will also be where the physical copy of my CD will be, my music. That won't be out till November. The other stuff will be available in October when it launches.
Well, please count me in. I'm definitely going to buy a Stepfather t-shirt and a Popcorn t-shirt. Miss Jill, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Super congrats on all your incredible work, talent, and success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being in touch with me to be on your show.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Rewatch The Stepfather, Phantom of the Opera, Popcorn. Be on the lookout for Jill's new album, her website. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.